Hello guys and girls, it is I, Aaron Halo 18 here, and I'm making a YouTube video here, and it's going to be called Halo 5 Guardians Discussion Series, episode 52, I believe, and I'll read 3 articles in this video. The 3 articles are called, the first one is called Stand Your Ground, my grandmother 1/4/15/2016. It says, this week in Canon folder, we pull the curtain back on the Halo Ground Command and take a look at a cool community project. Next one is Looking Glass. It's also my great brother. And it said, this week in Canon folder, we muse about Canarian Tech, chat ship, shop, and more. And the third one is No Joke. Also my great brother one. So today in Canon folder, we look at a deeper lore for the upcoming map. Tyrant plus more Halo fiction-based goodies. I'll read Looking Glass. Issue 70. Greetings, fiction folk. Thanks for stopping by our little story-centric Halo hunt against this week. Last issue, we unleashed some epic new deep lore on the arena map. Tyrant was launched this week as a part of the Ghost of Madarian content releasing for Halo 5 Guardians, as well as offering fictional glimpses into a couple of new gravity hammers and a new epic new Warzone boss. If you missed it then, you can check it out now. Shifting gears a bit this week, we've got a electric buffet to help you get your narrative NOS on, including Madarian mining machines, ship stuff, in KI colors, and more. Shall we begin? The first one shows up of the tractor machines from the Halo, from this map, I guess. First one says, that's mine. In keeping with the Madarian theme from the past few weeks, we thought it might be fun to take a look at some of the technology that players might have observed scattered across the scorched world as they play through the Halo 5 Guardians campaign hot on Blue Team's trail, or in multiplayer on maps such as the newly released Warzone simulation, Skimmerish, and Darkstar, and minutes of your furious firefights. Many of these are items you've probably seen, but perhaps have never stopped to really examine or observe. Nevertheless, if you found yourself curious about some of the craft and technology scene employed in Madarian surface, then by all means, read on. And even if you weren't curious, read on anyway and make me feel better. The first machine thing they showed is called a rhythm light holder. A common utility vehicle found on most human worlds. Holders serve as a key component of planet-side conveyance of supplies and materials, sometimes referred to as a mule. Their hardy yet nimble design offers expedient transportation of cargo colonial worlds, particularly ones with citrus and hospitable environments, such as the glass surface of Madarian. This particular craft is the Bardam, designed and manufactured by the Auror's Training Company. And they also show a picture of each of the these construction vehicles. Next one is Comod Grig. The Komodo is a general purpose super heavy truck manufactured by Texas Heavy Industries. Those use of Madarian support long-term evacuation operations, transporting fuel and power cells to and fro across the rugged grasslands. Looks like a tractor drilling thing. They're all, it's yellow. And they show a picture of that as well. It's called a Jotun Arliss. The Jotun Arliss is a popular utility truck that can be fitted with a large number of specialized tool attachments. Many rail trucks used on Mediterranean are fitted with special purpose glass boring drills. 90s heavy augers, the next one. Like a giant giant tractor machine. And the description says, the Jotun Heavy Industries EM 240 Nito's auger is a heavy-duty, durable mining machine that offers nearly unsurpassed productively to colonial resource extraction operations using the latest and solid-state laser technologies. The 80s excels at yielding higher drilling efficiencies and reducing the risk for operational errors. The last one is a forklift tractor thing. It's called an SL for Traxxas Cargo Transporter. It has a description as well. The Traxxas Heavy Industries found enormous commercial success in the introduction of the lighter SL range of their farmable cargo transport, especially during colonial rebuilding efforts during the years immediately following the Cuban Covenant War. More nimble and less expensive than the larger S line, they became a favorite among the businesses, large and small, across dozens of colonial worlds. The next one is now how fleet is it? As veteran photo folk will remember, last year about this time, we gave a quick report on our partners at Spartan Games present at the 2015 Salute show in the UK. Well, next week they'll be back at it again. Sans the white vans, showing off some pretty awesome new stuff that we'll be talking much more about next issue. As for today, we wanted to highlight some of the upcoming additions for Halo Fleet Battles that Spartan Games has coming down the pipe. Let's take a look. I guess they show all the ships from this game, I guess. It's like a 3D model of each of the ships. Some are human and Covenant ships. First one is a ADP class escort ship. A ship for protectors and shepherds. ADPs were rare and valuable antiques from the age of conversion, a period in which the Covenant had great success in enlightening new species on the truth of the great journey. It was an age of war and redemption with covenant merchants and pilgrims needing protection against opportunists, pirates, and the greed of rapacious ministers eager to expand their influence and wealth. Next one is a DSC class support ship. Covenant fleets range far and wide in their search for Forerunner relics and new sources of exploit. For some expeditions, making journeys that took them far from the light of high charity. Many of these missions were made on faith alone, allowing hints and clues recovered and ruined data archives are gleaned from damaged god machines. The crews of these exploratory vessels required sustenance and diversion, and needs met by DSC support ships for their hydroponic pods and hunting grounds. The next one is Halberd, a class destroyer. Fast requiring only a small crew. What the hell? The Halberd class destroyer lacks in general purpose utility. It makes up for in firepower. Its motor design meant it could be easily configured for different missions, but the realities of source shortfalls during the Covenant War meant most Halberds were configured purely for escort duty, while entire subsystems left out to reduce construction time. This is a human ship. And the next one is a Meg platform that they showed in Halo 2. And it says the UNSC employed multiple types of orbital defense platforms ranging from unmanned weapon satellites to large stations equipped with capital scale magnetic accelerator cannons. Those employed at Reach are among the most powerful ever built, with rapid fire MACs powered by ground-based reactors. Next one shows a video of the launch trailer for the Ghost of Medarian map and stuff. And it says BAP Beta. As a passionate player versus environment / co-op player, personally it probably comes as no surprise that I'm ridiculously stoked to play some Warzone firefight with the rest of the world. In case you are unaware, in a Warzone firefight up to 8 players will work together to complete 5 rounds of increasingly difficult, dynamic objectives set against a timer to emerge victorious. And since the mode is a fully realized member of the Warzone family, players will have full access to their arsenal and the Halo 5 Guardians rec system, letting you leverage those crazy cards in new ways against deadly enemies. Since its initial reveal a short while back, players all across the world have been chomping at the proverbial bit to get a taste of this evolved cooperative experience. And this week we announced that from April 14th to 18th, we'll be offering all Halo 5 Guardians players a chance to do just that with our special Warzone Firefight Beta. The 5-day beta experience will see Spartan fire teams of up to 8 players battle against an onslaught of enemy AI on the Escape from Ark Warzone map, and you can bet that yours truly, and like some of the other Grim Brothers, will be among those charged into battle. Their own custom colors, no less. Needless to say, as I hope to meet up with fellow voter fighters at matchmaking next week, so make sure you hop online in addition. Next week on Tuesday, April 12th at 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be showcasing the world premiere of live Warzone Firefight in a special episode of the Halo livestream. And we hope you'll tune in to check it out. No button combo required. Next is sorry about Killer Instinct again. Shows the elite stuff again from Killer Instinct, and they show a picture of it and description some more, and it says, "It's been awesome to see so many Halo fans take to a very different arena recently to defend the honor of our beloved universe against the cast of Killer Instinct on their Xbox One. Regular readers around here are no doubt familiar with the highlights we've done showcasing the various armor and color combinations available to unlock for the KI Arbiter character, but many probably haven't. Turns out there are a few color options that are a bit more hidden. If you're like me and are always looking for cool new ways to see Psychedelic in action, you'll be interested to know how to bring these rare looks into the limelight. The key is to have both players select the same character customization options. For example, both players select the full Ranger or Zealot harness upon initial in this expectation. It would appear that a fight like this would make it difficult to tell each player apart. However, when the match begins, you'll notice that player 2 will have their armor changed to a P2 exclusive color. For example, the Supreme Commander labeled Classic Combat Harness will make the second player an Elite Minor blue pictured here. Under these circumstances, some of the hidden colors are pretty awesome, such as the Command Rank Sword harness that showcases the brilliant gold of the former Covenant Empire, which you can see here. So next time you boot up Killer Instinct on your Xbox One, try out some of these different combinations to see what you get. Then they show a picture of a red Spartan doing a heart symbol with his hand. His hand, I guess, with both hands. And it says, that'll do it for us this week. So if you'll join us for the aforementioned Halo live stream next week for some Warzone Firefight gameplay and chat, as well as online in-game with the beta drops on Thursday. Also, before we close, and a both personal and professional note, I'd like to wish the infinitely wonderful Jessica J. BS Angel all the luck in the world as she wraps up her legendary professional Halo campaign with 343 Industries today. As a community manager, colleague, fire team member, and friend, Jessica enriched the lives and experiences of both the Halo community and the studio for all 2 short years. If she impacted you remotely the way she did me, make sure you drop her a line on Twitter or the Halo Waypoint forums and wish her the very best of next steps. Until next time, live well, play Halo, and always bear right. Always bear right. Grim. New and updated universe entries this week. The UNSC frigate. Frigates are relatively small and fast UNSC combat vessels designed primarily for their speed and effective armament. Classes: Stalwart, Chariot, Paris, Trident. Permits: Combat and Escort. Show the picture of the ship as well. Primary armament: Mark IV. Heavy coil: 994 B1 E6 / MAC. Secondary armament: M42 Archer missile delivery system. The Terrier armament: M870 Rampart, 50 mm point defensive network. Coronary armament: M4093 Tyrant nuclear delivery system. Summary: easily one of the most critical vessels within the UNSC Navy. During the course of the war, humanity's frigates are light combat ships designed for speed, maneuverability, and firepower. The most recent addition to the frigate type is the Trident class lead and lethal machines, which pack incredible firepower. They include a Mark IV ship mounted MAC and 3 hybrid nuclear warheads. Weapons even capable of defeating a variety of Covenant capital ships if their shields are down. In fact, Trident class frigates are considered so invaluable that even the enormous and powerful UNSC Infinity carries a number of them under slung within its sub-vessel development bay. On an initial assault, these are developed in Massey, delivering a final crushing blow and mopping up any stragglers in the process. Without question, frigates are made at the center of the UNSC's naval dominance in the years following the Covenant War. They show 4 different classes. First one is at Charon, 1,607 feet / 490 m. While not as greatly armed or armored as other similar vessels, Charon class light freight frigates have the capacity to carry a large complement of troops and vehicles into battle. Paris, 1,755 feet / 535 m. During the invasion of Reach in August 2552, the Embellision Erdarian fleet developed vast members of Paris class frigates in defense of the. Can you push that there? The local colonies, though outnumbered, these heavy frigates proved their worth in battle thanks to additional armor, explaining that increased their defenses against the Covenant arsenal. Their surplus more. It's too much. Airport. Thank you, Father.
Welcome, son.
My dad said, "You're welcome, son." He's supposed to say it quietly. He didn't say it quietly. Their surplus of armament compared to standard frigates. Stalwart, 1,568 feet / 478 m. Designed with planetary defensive in mind. Stalwart class light fighter frigates enjoy great success due to their super B balance between troop transportation and fleet support. Trident, 1,887 feet / 575 m. Prominent in the years following the Covenant War, Trident class heavy frigate is an incredibly fast and agile UNSC capital ship and capable of precise naval combat. As many as 10 Trident class frigates can be docked inside the UNSC's Infinity's sub-vessel. Deployment bay. One significant change between these ships and previous models is the addition of energy shields, rather than a reliance solely on the ship's outer hull for protection. That's it for that article. The other article is no joke. Issue 69. Welcome back, folks. When last we left our heroes, we were taking a closer look at some of the most approaching weapons, armor, and vehicles in the forthcoming Ghosts variant for Halo 5 Guardians just a couple of issues ago. We pulled the curtain back on the upcoming new Warzone map, Skirmish at Darkstar. This week we take a deeper look at the new arena play space. It's also arriving in the aforementioned update. Tyrant, also if you didn't catch it yesterday, our friends at GameSpot, it's a very cool feature of the upcoming maps. So definitely check it out as well. And with that, let's get started. First one is Tyrant. It shows a picture of it as well. So I got some planet-looking asteroid thing or something, and they show a sun right above it. And there's also a little description for it too. It said, for stalling the flood required sacrifice, orals were burned to molten husks to deny the parasite new hosts. Forerunner citizens immolated themselves in fusion fire when an infection forms overran final defensive structures, and starships jumped into suns to deny the great mighty vehicle to spread its malevolent influence in this particular system. Their former minor rate had built a network of colonies buried deep inside rich planetoids, crafting comfortable warrens and workshops as beautiful as they were labyrinthine, and protected by layers of hard light and exotic matter, and fitted with energy projectors powered by sheathing nano-universes. They were impregnable fortresses that the flood broke themselves on, until the Great Mind itself turned an indefinable portion of its playful intelligence to bear on the problem. Grasping impossible filaments buried beneath reality by the long vanished precursors. Great Mind pulled at strands that twisted and warped real space. Walls made of collapsed star matter cracked and shattered. Entire fleets of kilometer long warships vanished in flares of scathing light, and colony planetoids were ripped asunder. Cracks in miners' defenses into which the Great Mind poured billions of walking corpses, all cracking with one voice that drowned out desperate screams and final shouts of useless defiance. Those that survived the initial onslaught can only activate fail-safes and await words of twitching flat forms wearing the bodies of their families. The facility known as Zeta Ardenius and initially sightseeing by human explorers is one of the new two mostly intact forerunner structures remaining in the system, a grim reminder that even godlike artifice can be undone by the minds and hands of mad and boundless tyrants. Next one is they show the two different gravity hammers they have in this game, and they show a picture of them too. They're pretty cool looking. I usually say badass looking. And it says Sans the Tongs. Last week we dove deep into Terry's Gavel, one of the slick and ridiculously cool new gravity hammer dropping into Halo 5 Guardians via the Ghost of Midarian update. We didn't want to miss out on the chance to show the other two brutal instruments some love. Also, here's a sneak peek at the in-game lore strings that will accompany the Corpse Maker and Grinder. Corpse Maker, the sound of overloading shields, cracking bones, and shattering armor is music to the generic ears. That's the brute race from Halo. Improved gravity hammer with uncalibrated impellers that generate an unstable gravimetric vortex at the point of impact. Next one, Grinder. Made of the finest materials and its owner could coerce or steel. Improved gravity hammer with faster swing time and additional energy capacity. I'm going to show a picture of the Promethean enemies from Halo, like a red-looking color, I guess. And it says, "One lonely night." K-N-I-G-H-T. Like the Promethean Knight from Halo 4 and 5. And it says right here, in the media buzz surrounding the Ghost of Midarian update, one of the gameplay highlights has been the presence of new boss character within the skirmish at Darkstar Simulation. Most might hear this name and just accept it as a cool addition to the Halo 5 Guardian sandbox. Dedicated Halo lore fans had heard something that made their ears perk up just a bit more. In Doors of Will, the result of a damaged essence salvaged by UNSC forces during the Requiem campaign in 2558. The primary combat challenge encountered in the skirmish at Dark Star Wars Zone scenario in a Promethean Knight construct whose performance within the simulations is closely monitored by the Office of Naval Intelligence. As the participating Spartans themselves, the impetus behind their interest is unknown. Next one is CF snapshots. There's a snapshot, a picture of capture the flag or something. Sort of like a city overview with a Promethean ship in it. I mean, one of the like that helicopter ship from Halo, from the UNSC. I guess the Hornet hovering over a city. I guess there's a description for it as well, and it says, "So, remember how I mentioned a bit back how we'd be experimenting with some new ways to showcase your cool screenshots within the CF snapshots feature? Well, this week we're doing just that. From time to time, I'll grab one or two folks around the studio to lend their invaluable opinions regarding our latest assignment, and we'll share their picks alongside those of yours truly. Who knows, we might even to have a community member or two to lend a judging hand once in a while. So this week, we've got podium finishes from both myself and 343 Industries franchise manager Corny Robinson. And Corny spells her name Corrine. And Robinson is Robinson. Also, I may not have cheated by taking 2 entries from one entrant. And by may, I mean I did. So hey, I couldn't decide that I get to make up the rules. So there's that. Without further ado, here are our top picks from the UNSC Hornet assignment. Also, don't hesitate to stop by the submission thread and check out everyone else's shots as well. There's some really great ones. This one shows a Hornet picture with a ring, one of the rings from Halo, with the sun in the background. Pretty cool. And the great picks here says first place is Mr. Martini 85, Star, Halo, and Hornet. Second place, Zeno 64, firing on all cylinders. Second place, Zeno 64, heading towards the city. Third place, Kane XX12, Death from Above. There's just a picture of a Hornet with a rock background and characters on the 3 Spartans on it. Other one is heading towards the city, which the one I said already. And the other one is a Hornet that was shooting 2 missiles out with a Spartan driving it. And it's got a blue sky and a mountain hill in the background. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the other one is Star Halo. I already showed that one. I already mentioned that one a bit. And below says, "The here's to you, Mrs. Robinson." Award selected by Corey Robinson, franchise manager. So first place, Ace Party Skynet. Second place, Third Net Time to Rock and Roll. Third place, Cade XX12 Hornet Swarm. It kind of shows like a USG ship flying over rocks and ocean, I guess. Pretty cool with the sunset. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool picture. And the second one, there's a bunch of Hornet ships and Pelicans in it, I guess. Over all of the forge maps with the water and the ocean and the mountains. Pretty cool as well. And the last one is Hornet Swarm. There's a bunch of Hornets in this one. Usually has a Phantom ship from Halo. It's like a fort with a lot of islands and oceans and stuff. And below is another Killer Instinct thing. I show the picture of another Elite with Sangheili with red armor, I guess. This is right next to it. Over the past month, we've been giving various peeks behind the proverbial curtain regarding the development of the Arbiter character for Killer Instinct. And now we're excited to get huge congratulations to our friends and partners at Microsoft Studios and Iron Galaxy on a successful launch of Killer Instinct Season 3 earlier this week on both the Xbox One and Windows 10 PC. If you haven't had a chance to check out our various features leading up to the Arbiter's launch, you can catch them at the links below. And once you are ready to light up your own energy sword and defend the honor of the Halo universe, take a virtual Killer Instinct Season 3 yourself. Right here. See you in the arena. Counterpart Fighting Words. Hours available along with initial project info below. Arbiter feature on ultracombo.com. Grimm's guest article for the detailing Arbiter characters and species. Plus full color and customization details. MS game with Grim Brother One Stream. Grim and KI community manager Chisel get together to play KI. It's community chat Arbiter project development. Making the Arbiter's theme. Slow Diller. An Atlas plug given behind the scenes toward the development of the Arbiter music. Theme for Killer Instinct. Truth and Reconciliation. There's a concept picture of a spider-like robot, I think. With the guy standing in front of it. And it says, Wolf Predator 10 says, is a Covenant Locust Walker still in use as of 2557? Answer. Tier 1 examiner platforms like the Locust are still utilized by remnants of the former Covenant Empire, though their roles have somewhat changed. While some are employed by fierce or handy raiding parties, some in the Pelvich colony worlds, others have been used by singularly Canadians and warlords to fortify keeps and protect fragile alliances. And that will do it for today. No Universe Encyclopedia article. This time around, first time for everything. But fret not, we'll be back at least one. If not two, next week. And more for info on the Ghost of Madarian update. Make sure you also check out Bravo's Halo community update from yesterday, which has the full review of all the upcoming recs, as well as some high quality beauty shots of some of our favorites. Give it a look. Until next time, live well, play Halo, and remember that on days like today, believing what some say is truth can only lead to regret. Grim. And that's it for that article. And the last one is Stand Your Ground. And it says issue 71. It shows a toy picture of a toy tank from Halo, I guess. And it says, greetings, lore lovers, and thanks for stopping by. Last week we took a look at some of the cool colonial tech that players try to scatter across the surface of Madarian. Plus we divulged some new info on a couple of cool spaceships and more. If you missed it, you can go back and check it out right here. This time around we're excited to help officially unveil today's product from our friends and partners at Spartan Games in collaboration with 343 Industries. Annual Combat Command, Ground Command. Spartan Games will be showing off the title and more glory this weekend of the Salute show in the UK. We're here to get you primed and ready. Turning out our coverage today will be a special highlight a particularly awesome community creation for the talented folks responsible for the sins of the prophets project. We've got on a lot to say with early, so let's get to it. Sure, like model pictures of the Halo universe and stuff, which is pretty cool. Ground pound Colonia, this is a noble one. There are no rebels. The Covenant are on reach. Spartan A259 Winter Contingency. So the picture of a Warzone with like a little platform with statues on it. So like the Covenant human soldiers, I guess. It says 2 simple words change the lives of millions. It's a human colony reach on July 24th. 2052 of the Spartans of Noble Team Discovery Covenant strike teams have infiltrated the planet's defenses and disabled a key subspace communication hub at the remote Visegrad Relay Winter Contingency. The code name for a Covenant invasion is declared. UNSC plans for the defense of Reach. Thrown into disarray by the surprise attack and information lockdown is enacted to avoid mass panic from their deeply buried bunkers and command centers. Reach High Command analyze reports to weigh the possibilities and begin to deploy the might to the UNSC to defeat this Covenant spearhead, with the intrusion seemingly confined to a sparsely populated section of the planet. It seems the alien army can be contained and eliminated with a decisive ground campaign. They are wrong, and the planet will burn, but not before armies clash in a storm of blood and plasma, with heroism and valor never in short supply. High Ground Command gives you the tools to play out epic battles on Reach between stalwart soldiers of the UNSC and the merciless legions of alien Covenant. Cities will fall, heroes will rise, and destiny forged in battles that are yours to plan. Direct and implement on the tabletop. From massive take engagements, so stuck, range to small groups of Spartans deployed in defensive of New Alexandria. You are in control, making life and death decisions as a UNSC commander charged with the safety of this critical planet. Or take the role of an alien invader to lead the Covenant invasion force as a field marshal ordered to exterminate humanity. At any cost, the Covenant are on Reach. Your troops await their orders. They show another picture of little grunts and ghost ships. You know, the ghosts. You know, they're called on little platforms. Clear, see-through platforms. On a background of a modeled battlefield, I guess. And a description right next to it, too. It says, this weekend, the families, folks, at Spartan Games are boots on the ground at the Salute show. Probably debating the next chapter in the Halo tabletop legacy. Halo Ground Command. After a pretty incredible fan reception to Halo fleet battles. It's no stretch to say that we are all pretty excited to see this land-focused counterpart come to fruition. For us at 343 Industries, it's been an absolute blast to work alongside partners who are not only passionate about their craft, but about the Halo universe itself. It's more often than not, since us having to rein them in the project as Spartan gains excitement for putting famous Battle of Halo onto fans' tables. Indeed, has no end. To explore the excitement a bit further, we talked with Spartan Games Neil Fawcett to give our fodder folk an inside scoop. Show a model picture of a pelican, white with a white background, and it's open on the back. And Grim says, so let's start off by talking about scale. We've seen Halo products come in all sorts of different sizes over the years. What made you decide on the final scale for Halo Ground Command? Neil said, when we first looked at creating a ground warfare game for the Halo universe, a number of miniature scales were discussed after some fascinating and not too heated conversations between Spartan Games and 343 Industries. To make it clear that we all wanted the same thing. A mass battle game that would allow infantry, armored, and aerial units to come together in the same gaming space. Our guiding theme is, ever thought how cool it would be to have an entire army of Scorpion tanks or massive aerial duels with Banshee flyers? You've come to the right place. Grim said, you had me at Banshees. Also, especially for folks who might be new to tabletop gaming. Can you explain what it means to say that game is at 100 scale? Neil said, sure. Halo Ground Command is designed to be an inclusive game that brings together video gamers and war gamers alike. 100th scale is the best way to do that, giving you the best of both worlds, excellent detail levels and affordable collectability. To give you an idea of size, at 1:100th scale, a UNSC Pelican dropship comes in at just over 12 inches and is playable and affordable. But at 28mm scale, this model would be around 24 inches and much too costly for the average gamer. It is also the case that a Covenant Scarab would be so large at 28mm as to make it almost ungameable. There's no problem if you want to simply stand on a reinforced shelf, or you want to make models you can show off and game with too. We, however, want to game with our scarabs. Grim. Can't really argue with that logic. Speaking of games, we see some pretty large battles in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, but the focus in the video games, typically and understandably, is a more personal, dare we say, versatile experience revolving around a single Spartan or small group of soldiers. Was it difficult to adapt the look and feel you gotta go back. Experience revolving around a single Spartan or small group of soldiers. Was it difficult to adapt the new look, the look and feel of the video games when you decide to develop Army versus Army complex in Halo Ground Command. Neil, we wanted to create a game that acted as a counterpoint and complement to the first-person video game that people around the world are very familiar with and enjoy, whereas the video games are laser-focused on individual Spartan heroes. Our inspiration comes from the novels, in particular, Halo: The Fall of Reach, that took at the wider course of the Human Covenant War, and the actions of generals in field marshals at any army level. The stories are just as compelling on a larger stage. In our opinion, Halo Ground Command helps showcase just how exceptional the Spartan super soldiers really are, while simultaneously letting you appreciate the true power of the Covenant War machine. Grim. So, just to be clear, is it safe to say that Spartans are not the focus of the game? Neil, Spartans and their zealot counterparts in the Covenant play a very important role in the new game, but so do Warthogs, Scorpion tanks, ODST dropship pods, Vulcans, Siege engines, Phantoms, Wraiths, Ghosts, Hunters, and Scarabs. The scale of Halo Ground Command allows us to do things that are not easy to do in the games. It's entirely possible, even occurs that you could have hundreds of vehicles and thousands of infantry battling it out with the bombing runs, smack gun strikes, Banshee swarms, and reinforcements being ferried in on Pelicans, which we've been told is a bit challenging to do in the video game realm. Grim said, where it's so easy. Indeed, now considering the scope and the encounters in your game, was Halo Wars or Halo Reach the inspiration for the game? Mechanics. Neil said yes. Laughs. When designing the gameplay for Halo Ground Command, we spent literally hundreds of hours researching, reading, playing Halo and all its forms, and it became clear to us that we had a real opportunity to create a war game that mirrors the intense action of a tactical FPS with the strategic nuances of a RTS. So in a way, it's both. To achieve this, we have created a system for reaction that allows everyone to be involved in a game turned right from the off, even if the opponent is activated. This hasn't been done before in modern mass battle wargaming, and we are delighted to have the chance to give Halo players a chance to be the first to play with this FPS-inspired tabletop innovation, along with the tactical considerations of reaction. We have created a strategic method of force building that has lots of adaptability and uses easy building block principles to give players control over their forces and combine units in ways that is new and extremely interesting, exactly as if you were playing Halo Wars. Grim says, sounds awesome, Neil. Thanks so much for the passion your team pours into the universe and for taking the time to answer our questions. We know you are super busy preparing for the Salute 2016 War Games Convention in London this weekend. Neil said, our pleasure. We can't wait to show people the game and demo the new models which will be in stores later this summer. They show a picture of all in white. You can color it. I don't like these kind of games though. I'm not really a war gamer kind of guy. I never bought these model toy things or whatever. It's too much. It's too much money for all this stuff. I don't know. I just like reading stuff about it. It says, so now you have Spartan games for perspective. My very folks wouldn't mind also hearing from the 343 side as well, and since I know you are all likely tired of hearing me talk all the time, I thought it would be fun to ask our very own Kenneth Peters what he thought about the game. Kenneth has been integral in the process of helping to bring Halo Ground Command to life. It's a huge tabletop game fan himself. The project is very near and dear to his lore-loving heart. As a former Marine, one of the things I'm most excited about with Halo, quote, as a former Marine, one of the things I'm most excited about with the Halo Ground battles is representing large-scale engagements between the UNSC and Covenant that we've only read about in the books or seen in the distance of the games. Keep in mind that the Army troopers to get in the 2-player starter box is only a single platoon. And it's actually more UNSC combatants than you see close up in any Halo game. Plus, you can easily scale that up 3 to 4 times to fight company level engagements that make even Halo Wars that matches look like a sandbox skirmish. Quote again. On the Covenant side, you get a combat lance of enough grunts, elites and hunters to make even noble team. Carefully consider their tactical options. Scale the Covenant invasion. Force up and you can field a legion of the Covenant's finest, ready to tear down everything humanity has spent centuries building. The epic scenario we saw in the famous Believe campaign diorama is now in reach. Pun intended. Heck, you can play out scenarios that make even that look tame, and you won't need to break the bank to do it. Quote, Halo Ground Command is a completely different way of looking at warfare in the 26th century. Not in terms of it being a tabletop game, but in fact that you could, for the first time, clearly visualize just how epic and lethal Halo warfare truly can be. Not everyone on the battlefield can be a super soldier if you get enough assault rifles to one place. The fate of worlds will turn. You'll see. Kenneth Peters, 343 Industries. That shows a unit on a round stand next to a UNSC military soldier. That says right next to the picture. Hopefully you've enjoyed this inside look at Halo Ground Command, both from a written perspective as well as thought the snazzy model and render images you've scattered throughout the piece. Quick note on that, it's important to keep in mind that while the models you see are certainly pretty darn close to complete, there are certainly scattered aspects of the design and production elements and it's still a work in progress and are pending licensure approval, as they like to say. However, they are, at any rate, are incredibly excited to bring this new strategic gaming experience to the tabletops of Halo fans everywhere later this year. Certainly keep an eye out on Halo Waypoint for more details as we get closer to release. Non-profit organization. They show a picture of Halo and space battles, I guess. That says, right next to it, it's one of the best things about the Halo franchise is the abundant bounty of incredible community groups and ridiculous cool content. Often that content is found within the confines of the Halo games themselves. Forge creations, machinimas, montages, and much more. Sometimes, though, you'll find a zealous crew of Halo fans eager to assimilate our favorite universes into entirely different game experiences. The folks who run the Sins of the Prophets PC mod are one such group, and it fit fairly nicely alongside our Spartan games focus on this week and last. I thought it would be fun to shed some light on this impressive labor of love. We sat down virtually when the spies found the mod to see what they were all about. They show up different pictures of the cool Forge ships fighting each other, I guess, with colorful shots, I guess. And Grim says, Grim, so who are you guys anyway? Tell us a little about the overall scope and mission of your project. SOTP, Sins of the Prophets, is a total conversion mod for the PC games. Sins of Solar Empire. It's a relic that transforms the game into a Halo-themed experience. It's a real-time space strategy game. It's focused on empire building and space combat. Huge fleets of ships clashing the gravity wells of planets, asteroid fields, and massive structures are mod. We address all of that in Halo Grab. Or in a match of SOTP, you could find reach from the fleet of particular justice, discover a massive forerunner structure that gives you an advanced technology, then amasses a giant space empire, only to lose it all to the flood. The skirmish style of the game allows for some of Halo's sandbox appeal to translate well into the mod. Space combat is brutal and fast. It's an element of the Halo story covered well in the books, but hasn't yet been fully realized in a game or film. Grim, sounds awesome. Can you talk about your progress for building the mod? Who does what? How much time does it take? Etc. They said, when we're adding new content to the mod, we usually find as much source material as we can. Once found, we discuss any sources we consider primary for the look and feel that the primary artist takes over, and we offer advice, critique, as the asset takes shape. Ships like these you see here typically talk about 2 to 3 weeks from start to finish when we have good source material. So Halo fleet battles has been a huge blessing for us, especially so because of the physical models we can pour over. Weapon effects take a few days to a week, and plans could take a week or so. We scrutinize everything we create heavily and try very hard to stay as accurate to the Halo universe as we can. Typically, after we finish something, we show it to our community, and many make changes based on their feedback. We have a lot of knowledge and enthusiastic fans, and we value their input immensely. And our core team is made up of Spartan Lead, Yuda Kraken, UI, and Ikraken. Design lead, Lavo, coder/effects artist, Cole Protocol, coder, Grunt 563, effects artist, Sergeant Toothpaste, 3D artist, Bell Content, 1682, 3D artist, Spook and Destroy. Sorry, 3D artist, Sick and Destroy. UI/HUD artist, Wyvern ZU. Music composer, Warzone Frezabut. Auto director, I am Sancho. Promotional material artist, Elijah B.I. QA lead, Idol. Some of the assets we use are created and shared by our sister mod. Homefront, a mod for Homeworld 2. It certainly looks like you have a passionate and robust team. I'll spread apart you globally. They answered, most of the team is located in North America. However, we've got people from all over the planet working on the project. There's artists from New Zealand and Sweden, as well as our composer operating. Out in the UK, the team is typically around 10 people. But it is seasonal work for some, as many of the team members are working their way through college. We have around 20 dedicated playtesters. The internal build. Gamers did there, build one, and they span the globe from America and Europe to Australia and Southeast Asia. They show another picture of it, I guess. Grim says, now, though it might seem obvious, what are your team members' favorite aspects of the Halo lore and fiction? They answered, the sheer size and depth of the Halo lore is a major drawing point, with some of the team being PC only. This means that the wealth of external Halo media is a huge plus. You can be a Halo fan, whether you're a PC gamer, console game player, or you just like to read books and comics. We pull from that canon. Or there's this technological disparity between all of the major factions that makes it possible to tell these amazing stories of sacrifice and brutality. The space combat in the lore is of course also captivating. For the Covenant,
I'm going to take it out too.
The escape that makes it possible to tell these amazing stories of sacrifice and brutality. The space combat in the lore is of course also captivating. For the Covenant, their fleets fighting a human world, then laying siege with the intent to kill every last human, showing that this is humanity's own world in their final stand. Humanity sending every nearby ship to violently sacrifice themselves in extremely one-sided battles, so that some innocent civilians outside are able to escape. What pulls is that they do this every time the Covenant show up for 20 years. Grim said, any particular favorite Halo moments from books, cutscenes, or gameplay? And SOTP said, I would have to choose the introduction of the Scarab towering over the city streets. Then Halo 2, Soak and Destroy 1. Halo 2, running through Gravemind and High Charity, where you can see the chaos of Great Schism firsthand. Cole Protocol. Halo Combat Evolved, driving out of the Forerunner tunnels with your first Warthog reunion tour chapter. Title popping up. And all the sounds of brass, strings, and drums idle. Admiral Cole's last stand at the Battle of Visay Serpentis. Small content 1692 depicted in the Halo evolution story, The Impossible Life and the Possible Death of Preston J. Cole. Grim. When truth activates the portal on Earth in Halo 3, can you see the UNSC tell assault on the key ship? Elijah B.I. Watching the Fort Unto Dawn swoop down towards the Ark. In Halo 3, Kraken. The epilogue of Halo 3, where Master Chief enters the Cairo tube, and they're finally finishing the fight. Wyvern Zoo. Grim says, what are some things you are looking forward to in the near Halo future? They said, we're all crazy excited to see new ships come out from the Halo 3 Battles team at Spartan Games. They made our jobs much easier. We're also hopefully we'll get to see some more Forerunner ships show up in future stories to be told through the games. Undoubtedly, we're all very excited for the arrival of Halo Wars 2. Halo needs more strategy games. Grim said, we're glad you think so. 2. What does the Halo universe mean to you as a team and individually? SRTP said, as a team, it's the element that binds us all. It's a common factor that we all love to try to replicate in our project. The crushing despair of defeat, the spoils of victory, and the joys of success. Though Halo, we've all met so many incredible and talented people. There is no other community on Earth like the Halo community. It's vast and deep like the ocean. No matter how cliché your particular Halo interest is, it's a community of like-minded individuals ready to accept you and experience Halo alongside you. Grim said, could have said it better myself. Before we go, where can other Halo fans kind of find out more about the Sins of the Prophets project? SOTP, to catch up on the latest news, download the mod, please visit our ModDB profile here. In fact, we literally just released the latest update for the project, which you can download here. We also have a Facebook page where we show a lot of work in progress assets and interest with the SOTP community. There is an active presence on Twitter where you can follow us at Sins of Prophets. Grim says, great, sounds great. Thanks so much for your team for chatting with us today and for sharing your passion for the Halo universe in such a cool and creative way. It says recruitment. Can you mention that there, Di? Previous. 5 Courage. Warzone firefight. Beta April 14th through 19th. So many of you are certainly aware that Warzone firefight beta is going live this week in Halo 5 Guardians. It runs through April 19th to learn more about the beta itself. More on there for. And the mod in general. Appreciate it for it. Check out your friendly neighborhood Grimm's feature. It's on the matter right here. It's been a blast to hop on with Fred. In a concerted cooperative effort to eliminate enemies in efficient and exciting ways. It has been fun, particularly fun to notice some familiar names with the community pop up in our fire team in several matches. With that in mind, yours truly, GT Crib Brother 1. So we'll be playing quite a bit of the mode this weekend, likely with a few other 343 Industries staff intel, including the aforementioned Kenneth Peters. Keep a lookout for us and be prepared to show off your Spartan prowess on the field of battle. Well, that will wrap things up for this week. You'll notice that we'll be mixing in pre-existing universe encyclopedia entries with the newer ones in our featured entries, which issue giving fans a great way to catch up on ones you might have missed or enjoyed in the past. Thanks as always for joining us, and hope to see you on the beta battlefield. So next time, live well, play Halo, and pray you're out to defend the garage. Grim. Featured universe articles this week. Warthog. The Warthog is the UNSC's primary ground transportation vehicle, developed by AMG Transport. Dynamics of the Wraith. The Wraith is an armored mortar created to besiege enemy positions with unrelenting firepower. I think I've read about this one already, though. Yeah, I read this one already. Wraith. T-58 assault gun carriage. Manufacturer Lodum Armory. Length is 27 and 9 feet, 8.5 m. Width 27.1 feet, 8.3 m. Height 17.4 feet, 5.3 m. Weight 46.5 tons, 42.3 tons. Primary armament T-58 35 cm EDM, DEM. I meant. Secondary armament T-58 DWE. Maximum speed 51 miles per hour, 82 km/h. Summary. With a distinctively aggressive design, the Wraith is one of the most recognizable vehicles currently in use by Swords of Secilius and Covenant forces. Armored with a plasma mortar that can shatter even heavily reinforced defenses from long distances, the tank is lethal at range, and in the hands of a skilled operator can also be quite effective at closer engagements. Despite the Wraith's large size, its boosted gravity drive allows for impressive bursts of speed and surprisingly agile maneuvers over most terrain. Variants, as with all Covenant vehicles, several major variants of the Wraith exist. By Covenant measures of standardization, these are effectively identical, though OD's obsessive categorization identified dozens, if not hundreds, of distinct permutations. Type 26, surprisingly lightweight and nimble considering its bulk. The T-26 assault gun carriage is armed with a heavy plasma mortar as its primary armament. It does also feature one or two crew served for automated plasma cannon turrets for close and defensive and infantry suppression. Type 52, this variant replaces the plasma mortar with two triple-track field rod cannons. Though obviously intended to be an anti-aircraft vehicle, the Type 52 can and was also used in a direct fire role to devastating effect. Type Type 58, thought to be a new design, the Type 58, incorporates advanced technologies that would have never been approved by Sanchayam clerical authorities. Some of these vehicles are found on Secilius, though it is only a matter of time before it becomes more widespread as combat losses or other wraiths mount. That's it for these articles, I guess. Like I said, I'd read 3. I'm done for now. That's it for me on this. I did it for an hour and 25 minutes, so booyah. Halo lovers. And I hope you enjoyed my 3 articles that I read to you. And please get me more subscribers, folks. I would love to have comments on these videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on these ideas. Tell me what you heard from the articles. Sorry I couldn't show you the pictures or anything and stuff. I don't want to lose subscribers. I want to get more. And I'm really loyal, and I like to do videos. Sorry I didn't do movie reviews or anything for a while. I hope you'll like these videos that I put out for you. So please rate, comment, like, favorite, subscribe, view, thoughts and opinions, and I hope you liked it and enjoyed it for your viewing pleasure, guys and girls. And my favorite quote from Los Romo: please drink some hot chocolate, and I'll see you all later. And this is Eric, Halo 18, signing off. Goodbye.